Alright guys, welcome back. I'm going to show you how to make some variables in C++. So I'm just going to create a new project. Console application is the one I want. Hit go. I will hit next, and I am just going to give it a name. Lab 2. Sure, keeping sure there's no spaces in there. You could download code blocks in C++ by yourself online. It's just tricky to get everything set up, so if you do try that route and it doesn't work, then go back and just download my dev folder, because it's just guaranteed to work on any Windows computer. Alright, so here's our basic program. By the way, I always hit F9 to run my stuff. It's a shortcut key, but it's nice. The other thing that can happen sometimes, I see that happens a lot, is you lose one of your side screens or something. You press something you shouldn't, and everything kind of gets lost there. If that ever happens, just go to View, and under Perspectives, just click Code Blocks Default, and that'll just reset it back to what you see here. Okay? So, here are some intro ideas in C++. In Scratch, we would say variables, and we would make our own, and Scratch would decide what they were holding, whether they're words or numbers. In C++, it's not as easy as that. You have to actually tell it what type of variable you want to hold, and then you also give it a name. So I'm going to call this one num1, and then I put a semicolon. Okay, and that's going to hold an integer only. Integer variable. So C++ will, and then I can see out num1. Actually, even though I didn't save see out num1 as anything, it will see out something. And most coding languages are there to protect you against making a mistake like this, because when I made this program, there's no variables. There's nothing stored in here, but C++ allows you to do it, and it'll just find a random place in memory. It found this number sitting there and just output it. So you need to be careful. You really do need to set them yourself to 50 or something. That's how you set it. Okay. If you don't, you will get unexpected results, but no error messages. Okay. So that is how you store a variable. You can also even though I said I want it to be an integer, watch what happens if I hit 40.9. Do you think C++ is going to round that up to 41? Do you think it'll write 40.9? No, it writes 40. Okay, what it does is it chops off the decimals. Okay, so again, it's not going to give you an error message and say, hey, I'm looking for an integer. It doesn't do that. C++ is very low-level language. It's going to allow you to make mistakes as a coder. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why it's also so fast. Okay, there's a penalty for being so fast and so powerful of a language, and that's that it will allow you to be a bad coder and not protect you from doing that, and that's okay. This is how you learn. Okay, so here's another variable. Let's say I have num2. I can actually just make it equal something right in the line, like 60, like that. So I've got one that's 40 and one that's 60. I could put math in here. That was from lab 1. I can do like 5 plus 10. I don't want to do it in quotes. If I do it in quotes, it will write 5 plus 10 as a word. Don't really want that, right? Want it to do the math. If I want it to do the math, I just write it as if it were math equation. There you go. So I can also write num1 times num2, like that. And it will do the math. There you go, 2400. Divided by, times is asterisk, by the way, shift 8 on your keyboard. Divide in C++ is a backslash. And 40 divided by 60 apparently is 0. Why is that? It's because if I do 40 divided by 60, it's going to be 0.6667, right? But I told you that if I tell it it's an integer, it will just cut off all the decimals. So that's why it gave me 0 there. Okay. If I want to deal with decimal numbers, by the way, here's something I just accidentally did. I pressed the insert button on my keyboard, and watch what happens when I start typing. It overwrites everything. Super annoying, very unuseful, and only very particular situations would that ever be useful. So just hit your insert key if that ever happens to you. Here's how you do decimal numbers. You write the word float. It stands for floating point number. So I'll say decimal 1. And I can make it equal anything I want. Okay? There is a limit to how big you can store an integer in C++. It's actually, I think, around 2 billion. If you need to do a number bigger than 2 billion, you have to choose a different variable type. Cout decimal 1. And it just all has to do with the computer storing ones and zeros and having limitations. Here's another thing. I went to run my code and it didn't do anything, and I noticed I forgot to close my old window. So that can happen a lot too. And there you go. Oh, look at that. It even wrote exponential, e to the power of 8. So let's give it the number pi, for instance, 3.14. 159, something like that. There you go. Can you do decimals, numbers times integers? Yes, you can. What will this give me? I think it'll probably give me a decimal number. C++ will convert it. Yeah. Okay. So again, there's the 2 variable types you need to know about today. Just goof around with it. Try it out a little bit. It's just for fun this week. Like I said, normally we would be working in Turing, but not possible today, or this week. So this is fine too. I know there's some pretty solid coders in this class that would want to learn this stuff, and this is just going to be a little intro to get you ready for grade 11. Alright, we'll talk to you tomorrow, guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and keep handing in all the work that you have over the semester, and I'll mark it. Great, thanks. Bye.